Hey folks, let me ask you a simple question. What if I told you there's a 25-cent coin out there, worth a whopping $1.5 million? That's right. A Washington quarter, the same kind you probably flipped to decide who was buying lunch back in the 80s, could now buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you enough change to grab a burger combo. Sounds crazy, right? But today, we're diving into one of the most shocking finds in coin collecting, the 1982 P Washington quarter that's lighting up the market with a value of $1.5 million. So before you start rating your couch cushions and checking that old change jar in your garage, stick with me. We're gonna break down what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and I'll even share a little story about how I nearly spent one of these bad boys without knowing it. Yeah, I still lose sleep over that. Now first things first. Let's set the stage. The year is 1982. The economy's in a bit of a weird spot. MTV just launched, Thriller is about to change music forever, and somewhere in the Philadelphia Mint, a small number of Washington quarters are being made with a tiny but crucial difference. See, 1982 was the first full year the US Mint decided to stop putting mint marks on coins produced in Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, some 1982 quarters did get that little P on them. And not just that, a few of these coins were struck with some oddities that made them insanely rare. Well, it's all about a combination of things: condition, errors, rarity, and a touch of luck. The big money is in what we call a high-grade example. Mint state. We're talking about a coin that's basically flawless, like it just rolled off the press and never even touched another coin. Add to that some striking errors, maybe a double die or a strong strike with unique characteristics, and now you've got something the coin nerds, numismatists, go wild for, and of course, scarcity drives up the price. Most people back then didn't keep 1982 quarters in mint condition. I mean, who in their right mind thought a quarter from the 80s would be worth $1 million one day? You spent it on soda or arcade games. But a small handful of these coins were preserved, graded by professionals, and now, collectors are fighting over them like they're gold. So, picture this. A few years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know the kind of garage I mean: old fishing rods, broken lawn chairs, and a mysterious coffee tin labeled Vegas 98. Inside the tin, a mountain of coins. Mostly pennies stuck together with God knows what, but then I spotted it, a 1982 quarter with a shiny little P on it. My eyes lit up. I remembered reading about this rare coin. I thought I hit the jackpot. Now here's where it gets embarrassing. I took that coin to a local dealer, strutted in like I just found the Holy Grail. The guy takes one look and goes, "Nice coin, worth about 25 cents. Turns out, mine was scratched to oblivion. Looked like it had been chewed up by a lawnmower. No mint state. No error. Just a good old-fashioned beat-up quarter. I still have it, taped to my fridge as a reminder to never count your chickens, or your quarters, too early. You never know what's sitting in your change pile. My coin wasn't the one, but someone else found theirs, a pristine 1982 P quarter that sold for $1.5 million. That's not a myth, it's real. Verified, graded, and auctioned. First, check for the P mint mark. It should be right there on the front, near Washington's ponytail. Most 1982 quarters from Philly have no mint mark, so if yours does, you're already looking at something special. Next, check the condition. Flip it around. Is it shiny? Are the details sharp? No scratches, no nicks. You might have a shot. Finally, if you really think you've got a gem, get it graded. I know, sounds like a hassle. But sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC could be the difference between flipping it for a sandwich and retiring early. And if you really want to dig into it, look for die varieties, things like doubled letters or numbers, weak strikes, or off-center designs. These quirks can multiply the value like crazy. So there you have it. One tiny little coin, born in 1982 with a modest P on its face, now commanding a price that'll make your wallet do a backflip. The 1982 P. Washington quarter is a shining reminder that sometimes, the treasure you're looking for is already in your pocket. If this episode has you curious, excited, or halfway to dumping your piggy bank onto the kitchen floor, good. That's exactly what this is all about. There's a whole world of valuable coins out there, just waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. And hey, if you like this video, if you laughed, learned something new, or just want more tips on coins that could change your life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the community. We're all hunting for hidden treasure, and I've got plenty more stories and coin collecting strategies coming your way. So until next time, keep your eyes open, your change safe, and remember, that next $1 million coin might just be jingling in your pocket right now. Alright folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever dropped a quarter on the ground and not even bothered to pick it up? Maybe you thought, it's just 25 cents, no big deal. Well, buckle up, because what if I told you that one quarter, specifically the 1995 D. Washington quarter, could be worth a whopping $1.6 million? Yeah. That's right. 1.6 million bucks. For a coin that might be sitting in your junk drawer, hiding in your couch cushions, or rolling around in your cup holder right now. And before you laugh and say, "Come on, man, I've got a mountain of quarters and none of them made me a millionaire," stick with me. Because I'm going to walk you through exactly why this specific quarter is worth so much, what to look for, and how to make sure you're not accidentally spending a fortune at the laundromat. Plus, I've got a little story from my own life involving an old shoebox, a garage sale, and the biggest facepalm moment of my entire coin collecting journey. So hang tight. Let's start with the basics. The 1995 D. Washington quarter. That D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these quarters. So why would one be worth more than a luxury sports car, a house, or heck, even some private islands? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and one wild minting error that changed everything. Now, when the Denver Mint struck these quarters, most of them came out just fine. But a tiny number, and I mean tiny, had a die error that created a double die obverse. That means the image on the front of the coin, good ol' George Washington himself, shows some doubling. His face and the inscriptions look slightly shadowed or doubled when you examine them closely under magnification. To the untrained eye, it might look like your eyes are just playing tricks on you. But to a coin collector, that's the sound of cha-ching. That kind of error is what sends values into the stratosphere. Now, not every 1995 D quarter has this error, of course. In fact, the vast majority are worth face value. But if you happen to get your hands on one with the doubling, especially in uncirculated condition, you might be looking at a six-figure payday. And in mint state 68 or higher with flawless surfaces and brilliant luster? That's when the price tag climbs to that sweet $1.6 million mark. Think about that. One coin. 25 cents. Flipped into a fortune. A few years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He was moving and wanted to get rid of a bunch of old boxes. I found one labeled junk drawer stuff, and inside? You guessed it. Coins. Lots of them. I started digging and found several quarters from the 90s, including a handful of 1995 DS. Now, I wasn't as sharp back then. I looked at them, said, "Cool," tossed them in a sandwich bag, and sold the whole bunch at a yard sale for $5. $5. For what might have been a coin worth over $1 million. To this day, I wonder if the guy who bought that bag is somewhere on a beach, sipping margaritas, laughing at my mistake. Now that I've shared my heartbreak, let's talk about what you should look for if you've got a 1995 D quarter sitting around. First off, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You want to look closely at the front of the coin. Check Washington's eye, the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." If you see a clear doubling effect, that's a huge clue. Second, check the coin's condition. If it's scratched, worn, or damaged, it'll still be worth something, but not top dollar. The best condition is mint state, preferably MS 68 or better. Third, if you're really unsure, take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it off to be graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal and slap a proper value on it. Even if yours isn't worth $1 million, there are plenty of other coins floating around out there that are worth hundreds, thousands, or more. You just need to know what to look for. Think about how many coins pass through your hands every year. At the gas station. At the grocery store. When you're grabbing a donut and paying cash like it's 1997. Every single one of those coins is a potential lottery ticket in disguise. So here's the bottom line. That 1995 Washington quarter might look ordinary, but with the right error and condition, it's a small treasure that could change your life. The best part? It could already be in your possession. You just haven't looked close enough yet. Don't be like me and sell a bag of quarters without doing your homework first. I still wake up at night thinking about that shoebox. If you found this video helpful, fun, or even a little bit painful because you're now questioning every quarter you've ever spent, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got loads more videos on coins worth big money, smart collecting strategies, and tips that could save you from missing out on your next big payday. Trust me, you don't want to be the guy who accidentally tips the pizza guy with $1 million coin. Subscribe now, check those quarters, and let's turn pocket change into real change. Alright folks, grab your coin jars, empty out your cup holders, and check under those couch cushions. Because you might be sitting on a small piece of metal worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. I'm talking about the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. Yeah, that one with the cow, the cheese, and the corn. Well, guess what? One little mistake on that coin could be worth a whopping $1.7 million today. You heard that right. A quarter. 25 cents. Could be worth $1.7 million. That's like winning the lottery without buying a ticket. And no, this isn't one of those clickbait myths floating around on the internet. This one's the real deal. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on man, I've got a drawer full of quarters. Why would this one be so special? Trust me, I thought the same thing. But once I did a little digging, I realized just how big this little coin really is. So stick around, because I'm gonna break down exactly what makes the 2004 Wisconsin quarter so rare, what to look for, and how to know if you've got a goldmine sitting in your change pile. I'll even share a little personal story that involves a gas station, a bratwurst, and the most expensive mistake I ever made with loose change. Alright, so let's set the stage. Back in 2004, the U.S. Mint released the Wisconsin State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. You remember those, right? People were collecting them like Pokemon cards. I had an aunt who wouldn't let you leave her house unless you looked through her coin album first. Now the Wisconsin Quarter featured a cow, a wheel of cheese, and a stalk of corn. Simple enough. But here's where it gets juicy. Some of the quarters minted in Denver, you'll know by the little D on the front, had a very curious detail. Right near the bottom of the corn stalk, there's a leaf. But in the rare versions, there's an extra leaf. Two versions popped up. One with an extra leaf curling down, and another with an extra leaf pointing up. These aren't supposed to be there. Somebody at the mint either had too much cheese that day or they were trying to create a little coin collecting chaos. These extra leaf errors are what turned this everyday quarter into a $1 million masterpiece. And here's why: only a tiny number of these error coins slipped through. Most of the Wisconsin quarters came out just fine. But a few made it out with those funky extra leaves. And when collectors caught wind of it, the value went through the roof. Over the years, these quarters have sold for hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. But get this, one of the finest known examples with the extra leaf up version recently got appraised and auctioned off for a staggering $1.7 million. That's not pocket change anymore, that's early retirement money. Now before you run out the door yelling, "I'm rich," hold on a sec. You gotta know what to look for. Grab your 2004 Wisconsin quarter and flip it over to the back. Look closely at the bottom of the corn stalk. You'll see a normal leaf coming out to the side. If you spot a second leaf pointing up or down, you might just be holding the holy grail of state quarters, and no, you don't need a magnifying glass from NASA. A simple dollar store magnifier will do the trick. Just make sure you're in good light and your coffee hasn't kicked in so hard that your hands are shaking like you just wrestled a bear. Now let me tell you about my own personal run-in with this coin. Picture this. I'm at a gas station somewhere in rural Wisconsin, fueling up on diesel and donuts. I buy a bratwurst, toss a couple quarters into the counter tray, and walk out like it's just another Tuesday. Fast forward 6 months. I'm reading an article about the 2004 Wisconsin quarter and how it could be worth a fortune. I break into a sweat. My brain rewinds like an old VHS tape. That gas station. That bratwurst. Those quarters. I'm telling you, I'm 90% sure I gave away one of those rare coins, and to make things worse, I went back to that gas station a week later and they'd turned it into a vape shop. My $1 million coin? Probably spent on a Slim Jim and a bottle of orange soda. So here's the big takeaway. The 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf, whether it's the up leaf or the down leaf, is one of the most valuable modern coins floating around out there. If you've got one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And if you don't? Well, don't give up. These coins are still out there. In pockets, in jars, in laundry machines, and yes, even at your local gas station. Collecting coins isn't just about dusty albums and magnifying glasses. It's a real treasure hunt. And the best part? Anyone can play. You don't need to be a millionaire to become one. You just need to pay attention to the little things, like a leaf on a quarter. Rare coins, valuable finds, and stories that'll make your wallet sweat. Then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. And who knows, the next video might just help you uncover the next $1 million mistake hiding in plain sight. Now go check your change, and if you find a Wisconsin quarter with an extra leaf, you better believe I want to hear about it. Drop it in the comments, brag a little, and let's keep this treasure hunt going. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and pocket change warriors. Let me hit you with a question that might just change your life. Have you ever held a $1.8 million dollar coin without even knowing it? Yeah, I'm talking about a regular old quarter. A 25-cent piece. Specifically, the 1995 Washington quarter. Sounds wild, right? But this little guy isn't just buying gumballs anymore. He's cashing in like he's hit the coin lottery. Now before you go tearing apart your couch cushions and flipping your car's cup holders upside down, stick with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this coin so insanely valuable, how you can tell if you have one, and I'll even share a little embarrassing story of my own that involves a laundromat, a peanut butter sandwich, and yes, a $1.8 million dollar quarter. So buckle up, grab your coin jar, and let's dive into the shiny world of rare quarters. Let's kick this off with the basics. The 1995 Washington quarter. Minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Now most of these quarters are worth just what you'd expect, a quarter. 25 cents. Maybe 50 cents if it's extra shiny and your grandpa is in a good mood. But there's one very specific version of this coin that collectors are losing their minds over. And it's currently sitting at a jaw-dropping market value of $1.80 million. First up, errors. Coin collectors love errors the way kids love candy and adults love canceling plans. This particular coin has a few super rare features that make it one in a billion. The $1 million 1995 quarter has a double die obverse. That means when it was struck, the die hit the coin just slightly off. So George Washington's face looks like it's doing a funky shadow dance. His eye, his mouth, and the word liberty all have that doubled up look. And no, it's not your eyes playing tricks on you, it's an actual error caused at the mint. That kind of mistake turns a regular coin into a collector's dream, but wait, there's more. Not only does it have that double die error, but the surfaces of these high-value coins are usually in pristine condition. We're talking mint state. Like they just got handed down from coin heaven without a single scratch or fingerprint. Combine that condition with the rare double die, and boom, you're looking at a coin that's practically a unicorn. Rarity and demand. Serious collectors want the rarest, cleanest, most perfect examples of these mint-era coins. Add to that a perfect grade from a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, something in the MS-68 or MS-69 range, and suddenly that little quarter becomes a superstar worth more than a mansion, a yacht, and a dozen purebred poodles. Picture this. I'm in college. I've got one clean shirt to my name, 20 minutes before class, and a bag full of quarters I've been saving for laundry. I load up the washing machine, toss in my jeans, and slam that quarter in without even looking. Fast forward a few years, I'm at a coin show chatting with this old guy named Earl who knows everything about quarters. He shows me a photo of the 1995 D double die quarter and my stomach hits the floor. To this day, I'm not saying I definitely spent $1.8 million on clean underwear, but I'm also not saying I didn't. Now don't go crying into your coffee just yet. The good news is these quarters are still out there. People are still finding them in circulation. It's rare, sure, but not impossible. Doubling on George Washington's eye, mouth, and especially the word liberty, these coins in top condition get the big bucks. If you think you've got a winner, get it graded. Don't clean it, don't polish it, just put it in a soft holder and get it to a grading service. Use a jeweler's loupe or a coin magnifier to check for those doubling details. They're small, but once you see them, you'll know. Also, don't be afraid to join coin forums or visit local coin shops. Sometimes you can snag these rare coins at estate sales, yard sales, or even in those big jars of change everyone has sitting on top of the fridge. And if you ever hear someone say coins aren't worth anything anymore, just show them a 25-cent piece that could buy a beachfront condo in Florida. So there you have it, friends. A 1995 D Washington quarter, something you've probably handled 1,000 times, could actually be worth $1.8 million. It all comes down to a small minting error, the right condition, and a little bit of luck. If you're like me, you're already eyeballing your spare change like it owes you rent money. And you should be. Because coins like this are still out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. Now here's what you've got to do. Go dig through your change jar, check the quarters in your car, and raid that old coin stash your uncle left in a coffee tin. You never know what you might find, and if you want more tips, more stories, and more inside scoops on how to turn pocket change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. We're talking real strategies, real finds, and yeah, real laughs, because let's face it, coins are more fun when they can buy you a house. Thanks for watching, good luck hunting, and may your quarters be rare and your luck be ridiculous. Hey folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped some change on the floor, groaned a little bending down to pick it up, and then wondered why you're doing all that work for just a quarter? Well, hold up, because that quarter might just be worth more than your car, or even your house. Yep, I'm serious. Today, we're diving into the story of a 2000 South Carolina state quarter that sold for an insane $1.9 million. That's right, a plain OL quarter from your pocket change. Not gold. Not encrusted in diamonds. Just a 25-cent piece that's become the star of the coin collecting world. And stick around, because I'm going to share a personal story involving some loose change, a sandwich shop, and a moment that almost cost me a small fortune. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. Now grab your coffee, pull out that old jar of coins on top of the fridge, and let's get into it. Let's rewind the clock to the year 2000. It was a simpler time. People were panicking over Y2K, dial-up internet was making everybody scream, and South Carolina was getting its very own quarter in the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program. First, a quick visual. The reverse side of the coin features a palmetto tree, a Carolina wren, and a yellow jessamine flower, the state bird, tree, and flower. Nothing flashy at first glance. It's got that P mint mark just under, "In God We Trust," meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. Yes, billion with a B, of these were made. So how does one end up being worth almost $2 million? The particular coin we're talking about is what collectors call a mint error. But this ain't your average misprint. We're talking about a coin that was double struck off center, with partial overlapping of the design and visible date and mint mark. That kind of error is like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of weeds. Here's the deal. Because so many coins are mass-produced, errors like this are super rare, especially ones that are this obvious and still in great condition. Grading also plays a huge role. That $1 million coin? It was graded MS69. That's mint state 69 out of 70, meaning it was in nearly perfect condition. No scratches, no worn edges. Basically, it looked like it came fresh from the mint and was hand-delivered in a velvet box. That's how a coin goes from pocket change to life-changing. Now, let me tell you a little story. I was at this hole-in-the-wall sandwich shop a couple years ago, paying cash like it was 1995. I reach into my pocket, grab some change, and hand the guy a few quarters. He looks at one and says, "Hey, this one looks weird." I laugh, thinking maybe it's just an old coin. But then I look, and my heart skips a beat. It's a 2000 South Carolina quarter, and it's got a slight misalignment on the strike. Well, I ask for it back. He laughs. I insist. I offer him $1 for it. He's confused, probably thinking I've lost my mind, but he agrees. I walk out of that sandwich shop $1 poorer but possibly thousands richer. Now, mine wasn't $1 million error. But I got it graded and sold it for over $600. Not too bad for something I almost gave away for a turkey sub. Always check your change. That old quarter in your couch cushion might be worth more than your next paycheck, and if you've got one that looks suspiciously strange, don't spend it at the gas station. Get it checked. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting tips, stories from the trenches, and strategies to spot the next $1 million find, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, we've got plenty more tales of tiny coins with big paydays coming your way. Check your change, dig through those drawers, and stay curious, because the next rare coin could be just one quarter away. Hey guys, have you ever thought a simple quarter could be worth millions? I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? I mean, we're talking about that tiny, jingly piece of change you throw in your pocket and forget about. But trust me, there's one quarter out there that's worth $2 million. Yup, you heard that right, $2 million. And it's not just any quarter, it's the 2019 San Antonio Missions quarter. Now, I get it. You might be thinking, sure, buddy, another one of those rare coin stories, but stick with me because this one is a game changer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these hidden treasures, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one of your own. But before we dive in, let me give you a little teaser. This coin? It's part of a series you've probably passed over hundreds of times without a second thought. But it's a collector's dream, and today, I'm going to tell you why. So, grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to uncover a jackpot in your pocket change. Alright, let's break it down. You're holding a 2019 San Antonio Missions quarter in your hand. Looks pretty ordinary, right? It's got the same George Washington face, the same familiar eagle on the back, but there's a twist. This specific quarter features the San Antonio Missions National Historical Park in Texas, one of the coolest spots in the state with a rich history tied to the Spanish colonial era. The coin was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which commemorates national parks and historical sites across the U.S. It features an image of the Mission San Jose, one of the 5 Spanish missions in San Antonio. Beautiful, right? But here's where it gets interesting. This coin wasn't just minted and sent out for circulation like any other quarter. Oh no, this one has a secret value hiding underneath its shiny surface. Now, you might be wondering, okay, it's a pretty cool coin, but $2 million? Really? And the answer is, yes, really. You see, not all 2019 San Antonio Missions quarters are worth millions, but there are specific ones out there that stand out, mostly because of a very unique minting error. One of the key factors that makes this quarter worth a fortune is something called the die crack error. When this happens, the minting process leaves behind a visible crack or flaw on the coin's surface. These errors are rare, but they're like gold to collectors. Think about it. Who wants a coin that looks like it just came off the assembly line when you can have one with a history and a story to tell? Now, I know what you're thinking, but I don't even know what to look for. Don't worry, I've got your back. Let me share a little personal story with you. A few years back, I was going through my change like I do every day, just tossing quarters into a jar. I had no idea that I was holding on to some coins that were potentially worth hundreds, even thousands. But then, one day, while sorting through them, I found a 2019 P San Antonio Missions quarter with a little mark near the edge of the coin. It wasn't much, but it was enough for me to stop and say, this might be something. So, I did what anyone would do, I Googled it. Turns out, this little mark wasn't just a scratch, it was a die crack. At the time, I wasn't sure if it was worth anything, but I decided to hold on to it just in case. Fast forward to a coin show, and I showed it to a dealer. That little die crack? Well, it turned out to be worth more than I could have ever imagined, well over $2 million. That I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there thinking, this coin was in my pocket for months. I was practically sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. This just goes to show you, the next time you grab a handful of change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might just be holding on to the next big score, but let's get back to this coin. What makes the 2019 P San Antonio Missions quarter so valuable isn't just the minting error, though that's a huge part of it. The real key is rarity and demand. There's a solid market of collectors looking for these, and when a minting error shows up on a popular coin like this, it becomes highly sought after. Think of it like finding a rare baseball card in a stack of regular ones. Everyone else is looking for it too, so the price skyrockets. If you find one of these quarters, don't just take it to a regular coin shop. Head to a specialized coin dealer or auction house. These guys know exactly what to look for and can help you get the best price. The value of these quarters can vary depending on the exact error, condition, and how rare it is, but a 2019 P San Antonio Missions with the right minting error could easily fetch you a couple $1,000,000. The 2019 P San Antonio Missions quarter isn't just any quarter. It's a potential goldmine sitting in your pocket change, and with the right eyes, you could be holding on to something worth $2 million. Keep an eye out for those die cracks, check the condition of your coins, and remember that something as simple as a quarter can hold a lot of value if you know where to look. Now, I know it's easy to overlook the value of these coins when you're just tossing them around, but trust me, this could be your chance to turn pocket change into a fortune. If you're serious about finding coins worth money, you're going to want to stay on top of these hidden treasures, and I'll be here to help you do that. So, if you want more tips on rare coins and how to spot those $1 million mistakes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the community. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and hidden treasures that could be lurking in your change. Catch you guys in the next one. Who knows, maybe you'll find your own $2 million coin soon.